just going to push this one through. Guangdong Freak's not getting any sort of inhibitor damage done just yet, but the map control that comes with this is arguably more valuable than the standing gold in these turrets. So Guangdong Freak's still feeling great about this because in 90 seconds, that soul is basically theirs for the taking because Hanwha Life Esports will have to force their way through all of that vision, all of these control wards to get even close to the Drake.
The Baron is actually perfectly timed to guarantee control of this dragon. And that means, especially after the Baron was slightly buffed as well, given the fact that everyone has more health, now Baron can get through that a little bit easier as well. Now, Pillar goes down just to keep some control here onto Hanwha.
See how good Kale is also just defending pushes with that level 16.
Certainly tears through these. Nash's tooth now completed as well. See what Juno goes for as far as fourth item, or whether we even get to see what the fourth item is going to be. Some resets come through from Hanwha.
So let's take a look at the vision control here that I was talking about around the blue box and the wolves. You see that on the mini-map there. It's the direct path that Hanwha Life Esports will have to walk through to the Drake. There's one sneaky control ward next to the Drake pit that's still up for Hanwha Life Esports, which could be used by Voodoo here if it's unseen. Very unlikely, but 20 seconds to go. Possibility of a flank.
Oh, the charm is just gorgeous. Layering the CCTF across quite nice there as well, but honestly not one-shottable at this point in time. Does just bounce his way over the wall. That's what he's trying to do at the Drake before. You guys are being mean to on-fleek, stop being too mean, okay?
As real teleport value goes back and buys is here for the fight. They do not have that ward anymore. No vision here whatsoever. The trinket is down. That's not going to do it.
Well, True-Shot Barrage just to help. Thanks for the leash, I guess, is the answer. Is now Keen looking for more. On-fleek is going to have his people made. That's fine. 3,000 gold to lead. Guangdong Freak. Ocean Soul has now been picked up. They've sold the map. Just massive. 2.5 minutes before the next Baron is there.
I'd love to see a little bit of 1-3-1 action here from Guangdong Freak because they have both the Gwen and the Ahri. And Hanwha Life Esports can't even if you 4-man a push. Deal with it fairly well because of the Kale. Wave clear. And you know, there's a top turret just up there for the taking here for Guangdong Freak, but they're sticking more in this 4-1 unit at the moment, just trying to force a mistake out of Hanwha Life Esports. Baron buff is gone now. With the Cloud Soul here, as you mentioned, it's slightly worse than it was before, but still quite significant with this composition. They're basically just fighting a vision game. Wards, wards, and more wards, and it's crazy for me to say this because of how Guangdong played last season, but just covering the whole map. Even a ward in the mid lane just for extra measure.
Yeah, we have to remind everyone that Guangdong Freaks basically invented the K-Ramp because it looked like they didn't know what to do in the mid to late game. But this has been a masterclass in how to control which lanes, how to work around pressure that you've put together, and really does demonstrate that a lot of our teams have utilized this extra time that they've been given in the off-season to great effect. It's really good to see.
Keen wants to look for a 1v1 kill again here against Dudu, or force his ultimate here if Dudu overextends. He did not. Being very respectful here. That is very critical for him to hold on to for the next fight.
And look, I wouldn't be surprised if Guangdong Freak still lost this game, right? Because this is mega late game Kale we're talking about.
Ezreal too.
And Ezreal that's going to be completing his last item relatively soon. Kaiser is certainly no slouch, especially with the build that Teddy has gone for. He's just going to complete, I guess, some armor penetration towards the end of the build now, but does have pretty much everything that he wants to do as much physical damage as possible.
I think the crux here for Hanwha is being in position for one last fight. And that looks like it's going to be the Baron here. 3.5 minutes plus here for the Elder Drake. They can force a fight here on their terms with all their ultimates available, obviously without the Ezreal one. That's the least important one. There's a way they force this into their favor because they have that Kale ult. Kale's in position this time. They don't have to vision depth. Keen has teleport, but he's clear. They're pushing this wave in. They've got great wave clear. This is a great setup here. This could be the one fight that you're talking about for Hanwha Life Esports in the late game, just based off of a 5v5 with this composition and turn this game around.
Fate going for the Faker wraparound that we did see at MSI. He's going to get spotted here on the control vision, and oh dear. This is an Owen Wilson that may not necessarily survive in the end, as he's behind enemy lines like no one's business, but he's going to be out of flash and triple ulti away.
And Keen is still pushing. I mean, Keen's threatening an inhibitor turret now. Life Esports are going to have to react a little bit faster than this. Now, this pulls attention to the bottom lane, and Guangdong Freaks get back that control over the Baron pit. King still has teleport, but with no CC to stop him from coming in. He's in 2 places at once.
Fear on Fleek might die again. That's okay. Void Seeker not going to be able to find on Fleek this time, but thankfully he didn't die. Still, now it's more tools utilized when we get them out. Karis doesn't have Black, otherwise everybody else does. There is still team fight left in this Life Esports team. As Teddy's gone back, he completed a Guardian Angel, so he can't just be one-shot in these fights. He played with so much more reckless advantage. He hits it 4-0-1. He is absolutely huge as Ellum, looking for an opportunity, not exactly an engaged champion as the Thunder. We can put down these pillars. Now Vista caught out of position. He does have the ult, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The ulti comes through though. They dive on top of Teddy. He does have the GA, but the killer instinct's going to keep him alive as well. On Fleek now trying to fight this one out, and over the wall goes Teddy. He's going to pick up his first couple of kills in this fight as On Fleek is well and truly dead. It's in fact Keen that will lock this one down, and I have a feeling this game is done and dusted. Life Esports gonna have to look to game 2 to try and pick up a win. The thing is, it's so difficult, Wolf, because they had the late game team fighting composition, but Guangdong Freaks has outplayed them in the late game.
And they had the late game composition. They did not utilize it well. They did not play their latter part of the mid game well. They're just gonna try to buy time here. Big
taunt! A 4-man taunt from Karis. Can he actually save it? I think the wallets say absolutely not. It looked really cool, but it was not cool enough. Point is gonna sacrifice himself for the good of the colony. Ellum's gonna do the same, but this Nexus is still gonna die, I think.
Samdi and 12, there's no minions here. They're finally stacking up. Vista's back. I don't think they could defend this. They've got 5 seconds on Samdi.
All right, Vista gonna go for the magical cow engage with 0 backup, and this is the dead Nexus. Guangdong Freaks will take game number 1. And
what a game, though.
Not enough, yeah.
What a game, though, to start off the summer season. Keen, phenomenal performance on the Gwen. I think his pick there on the Kayle bottom side, stopping Dudu, leading into that first Baron take, was the most pivotal play they made to shift control back into their favor. Yes, a lot of flashing plays from Teddy too, but the final call from Life Esports is what did them in. Aggressive positioning there on the Alistair, and it was a snap decision. Everybody was in on it. It was everybody on the same page, but it wasn't the right call. Looking for the flash engage there, the pulverize, looking for the pick on the Kaisa, who at this stage of the game has a GA, all the extra, survivability that her ultimate is going to get her. It's not a meta where you want to kill the AD carry first necessarily anymore. So they see a target, they look for their opportunity, but they actually trapped themselves there, and the game ends, in quite a swift fashion. They were kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah, the thing was, we were focusing on this Kayle in the late game and things like this. Of course, when no slouch in the late game, but you shouldn't be able to necessarily outdo what a Kayle is capable of. But if you misplay, if you keep getting caught out, if you give so much map control over to your opposition, you're still gonna lose. That's just how it works. Unfortunately, On Fleek just caught a couple too many times as that mid to late game rolled around. But I want to, instead of just, bashing on Life Esports here, I want to talk about Guangdong and how much they have improved.
The vision game, man, was insane.
It was so much better from what we saw in the spring season. And their ability to just play after a mid game was just fantastic from the squad. And Kenny just showing exactly what we were expecting from him in a meta like this, where AD carry stock goes way up. Teddy is certainly one to get behind.
And Keen is one more W in the Gwen column. Because right now her win rate not very good here in the Asian leagues, the Challengers and LPL leagues so far. Despite the high priority, but Keen not only pressured the Kayle extremely early, had a massive CS lead, but then made aggressive plays in the 1v1 side laning to actually lead to advantages, led to a Baron. Such smart play from both teams. I'm thinking both upgraded so far here, and we're in for a great season. I'm super hyped.
I'm excited too, but ladies and gentlemen, this is a best of 3 region, so we'll be back to game number 2 right after this.
끌고 갈려 때리는 게 나을 것 같은데.
기동. 달려. 쌍봐. 한 빼고. 케이저 프리들이다. 케이저 프리들이야.
자, 켈 봐봐.
나
매우 있어.
달려.
자, 웨이브.
나텔 되는데. 안 뺄게. 안 보여. 있겠다.
나 태우면 안 돼.
3초.
아래 타워 가면 돼. 아래 가자.
아, 믿어.
야, 나 할만하다.
오케이. 확인.
사바다야. 아리 노플.
2주 7초 천천히 해봐. 타워부터. 잡아 돼. 타워만 들어가자. 타워만 들어간다.
얘들아.
나이스.
괜찮아.
이제 죽이면 안 되냐?
나이스.
명 맞췄는데.
내가 맞았어.
내가 안 맞았어.
I work alone. It's better for everyone. I love what I do. My enemies love it. The only way is to
An ally has been slain. Aced. Your inhibitor has been destroyed. Shut down. Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed.
no one's else Not anymore. Everyone's got a weakness. That's my target.
Enemy has been slain. Enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
The king who couldn't control me. I do what they need. They can't stop me. I'm
Welcome back, everybody. We are here at the Carpet Spaces. We are so happy to be back. It feels so natural, so fun. And we started off with a pretty straightforward win from Guangdong Freaks over Hamalite. You know, not a ton of action, but just a straight up bonking, I think, from Guangdong Freaks.
Pretty much. Gwen! Yay! Any counters we're gonna ignore, kill, who cares? Didn't even see the Lilia, which has been again one of the other ones. Doesn't matter that you counter pick her. And it was really obvious as well, especially with the